Well, if today's talk of garden cities is an attempt by the government to conjure up a more hopeful vision for the country, that may be because the hard financial facts in tomorrow's autumn statement are likely to be pretty depressing. Our economics editor, Paul Mason, is here to tell us what to look for. I mean, the economy is doing pretty well, so why is there a spot of gloom about what he may be saying tomorrow?
Very gloomy. In fact, the reason is because they've missed their short-term target, which is to cut the budget deficit. The deficit is like the government's overdraft, and let's have a look on this graph where they think they were supposed to be. What we're seeing now is how it stacked up last year, and we ended up with 98 billion of borrowing. The plan was this year to get that down to 87 billion, but just look where we are. Halfway through the financial year, we're ahead, and if it carries on like this, we'll be borrowing 103 billion. And when you ask the experts what's the cause of that, it's the wrong kind of recovery.
People have gone into work and unemployment has dropped much faster than we had previously anticipated, but ultimately people have been going into low-paid jobs, meaning they haven't been paying the tax revenue into the system because the tax system has changed and tax rates are different than they used to be. And as a result, it means there's a bigger hole in the public finances than we previously anticipated.
So anyway, look, tomorrow's going to be a big moment for the Chancellor. What is he going to do? Well,
we think that the government is going to schedule legislation committing the next government, if you can do that, to balancing the books by 2017, 2018. But here's the context for that. It's almost like stop me before I kill again, because they didn't do it last time. Here's what George Osborne said he was going to do with the debt as a proportion of GDP in 2010. Here is the outturn. It doesn't start falling until 2 years' time, and we're still going to be $1 trillion plus in debt. So the context of tomorrow is the failure last time, the desire to, all parties desire to promise to balance the books in the medium term. But of course, as compared to the last 3 days, we've got lots of detail about what they're going to do with money they've already pledged. We are not going to hear, I predict, any detail about what they're going to cut. And that's why it turns into yet another fantasy argument about what is going to be cut and what is going to be spent. Until we get detail, voters go to the polls quite blind.